Mark of the Deep by Mad Mimic, and it's coming out in 2024.
You didn't introduce it right.
I didn't introduce it right?
No.
What did I say wrong?
Adam, it's a pirate game. It's got to be Mark of the Deep.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Dave, I thought you would like this for a couple reasons. It's a mix of a Metroidvania and a Souls-like. Pretty cool, right?
Yep, I saw that.
Is that all you're excited about? Should I just pull up the trailer and let you describe it?
Let's go ahead and pull up the trailer because the trailer is very interesting. There's a couple things I like about the game. You know what I don't like about the game though? We're just kind of right off the rip. I don't love this new Diablo top kind of 3/4 angled top down view. Yeah, I don't love it.
Okay, well,
like Hades is notorious for this. Diablo is notorious for this.
But I like Hades, and that's what, like, quick thoughts when I first saw this. I was like, oh, a Hades game. Like, I thought it was gonna be a roguelike, but it's not. It's an adventure game. But
right. And guys, if you're just listening, right now what we're looking at is it very much does look like Hades. It looks a lot like Hades. It looks darker though. It has this like very like kind of green kind of tint to it, a very cold like temperature feel, if that makes sense to you guys. That gives it this almost kind of like eerie vibe, and I think it's an interesting game style. And I think that the characters right now we're seeing this like hammerhead shark. So I mean, I think it's going to be very, very interesting. But my number one question to you, Adam, is I saw that they're saying that this is Souls-like, and I don't know how.
I think it's gonna be some of the bosses. I think they're saying the bosses are what's gonna be like Souls-like. So a little bit farther on the trailer, we'll see like where they come up to some of these really large bosses, and I think it's gonna be Souls-like in terms of like the bosses are hard, they'll have different phases, and I think that's where that's coming from. Not so much the mechanics of it.
Okay, because I was kind of because I was kind of lost because they keep saying it's a Souls-like, and I'm just like trying to find the Souls-like elements to it, and I just can't pick them up.
And I wonder if like some of the so like this boss here, I wonder, or like these two, I think he's gonna have like certain like phases and things like that. But I wonder, like, I didn't get to see so much on the like if there's gonna be like a character attributes thing and like that. I wonder if that has something to do with it. I didn't see much on that side of things.
Yeah, and it's hard for me to like really confirm this is a Souls-like without knowing much about like the way that this is going to kind of work, because it's very interesting to combine these two genres together, a Souls-like and a Metroidvania. It seems difficult. It seems difficult to do that.
I think it's going to be very similar to Hollow Knight and Prince of Persia: Lost Crown, with that kind of mechanic to it where. But I'm just curious on what the attributes and the abilities are going to be, and like that, like the skill tree is going to be like, if it's going to be where you pick what you level up, kind of how you do in a Souls-like, if that makes sense.
I think it's gonna be very spell kind of focused, because the story behind this is basically you guys have been shipwrecked on this cursed island, and you are playing as the one main character, and you need to find the remaining, like the missing members of your crew from the shipwreck. And then throughout the entire story, you're kind of learning that this island was cursed back when a cultist leader called the Old Folk, which is like the native like inhabitants of the time, imprisoned the Leviathan. Leviathan.
Wow, it's a word I knew, but you didn't. I'm actually kind of happy about that.
I did not know that word. In a quest for immortality, and the Leviathan. Did I say that right?
Leviathan.
The Leviathan is like a mystical sea creature. So I think it's gonna have this like kind of like undead kind of spelly kind of eerie vibe behind it.
So kind of going off I think the color tone of the game, like you said, it gives a different vibe. I think that color tone really does give that cursed like vibe to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you see this in
it's eerie, but also like feels like it's cursed, and I really like that.
You see this tone in like a lot of movies, like a lot of like horror movies use this very like deep green kind of bluish tone. You see it like Fight Club is notorious for just like a kind of unsettling feel, and you see it in a bunch of games too. And I love that style. I love like take the blues and drag them down, and I love that. I think it's great.
Yeah, I do too. I think adds to the aesthetic and the mood of the game. So one thing I thought was really cool going along with the story as well is there's gonna be multiple endings, which I always think is really fun with the game. It gives it more replay value. I'm just kind of curious on like how many endings they're just gonna have in it, but that's really cool to me.
I always love the multiple endings. You know, I'm a huge sucker for a game with multiple endings. I gotta collect them all. Again, I mean, I'm looking at the gameplay though. This feels a lot like Hades.
I definitely agree. It has Hades vibes. Also has like a little bit of Hollow Knight, and then Death's Door is another game. I've never played that one, but people are comparing it to Death's Door. I think they say the gameplay is very fast paced, but I don't see how fast paced it really is. Another game we're going to be talking about is very fast paced, but I think the traversal and the abilities that they're going to be acquiring throughout the game looks really cool. Like if you saw the water where you can suck yourself into water and jump out somewhere else. I thought that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and guys, if you guys are just listening, if you didn't have a chance to see the trailer, there's a lot more platforming in this than I think people are expecting.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Hades wasn't really so much about the platforming. This 100% looks like you're having some platforming challenges, and I would love to see. I hope they come out with a second trailer, because the thing in this trailer is like I'm trying to get a feel of the gameplay, but it's almost like they cut too many sections together too fast, where it's like you get just a like I would love to see like a 15-second one clip of gameplay, but they just keep cutting away.
I noticed that with the boss fights too. They show all these bosses appearing and they're like, oh, here's it, and like next boss. It's like, no, but let me see you fight the boss. Let me see a little bit about it. And I agree. I wish they would have let it extend a little bit longer. This game did have a demo, I believe. I think this game did have a demo. I missed it, so I didn't get to play it. So, but yeah,
it looks pretty cool. I mean, if you guys are into that stuff, you definitely drop it on the radar. Price points, if I had to look at it, probably like $40.
I don't even think it'd be that much. It's a small developer. I don't think they have a game more than $20.
No? Okay. Mad Mimic is the developer.
Mad Mimic is the developer. It's supposed to come out this year at some point. And like I said, I don't think this game will be much more than $20. And yeah, it looks fun. It gives me very fun vibes like I had with Prince of Persia Lost Crown. I don't think it's that in depth, but like if you're looking for a quick game like the others that we mentioned, then this might be a game for you. And it has pirates.
If you dig Hades and you love pirates, like this is your game.